DAX calculations in Power BI can really make a difference when you are working with data. As more businesses turn to data for insights, getting the hang of DAX can help you stand out. In this video, I'll walk you through the basics of DAX calculations and show how they can improve your Power BI reports. Let's get started.
What Power BI DAX is. So when we talk about Power BI DAX stands for Data Analysis Expressions, which again is nothing but a collection of functions, operators and constants. It is used in formulae and basically it returns one or more variables. It is a native formula and a query language by Microsoft. Now this is what the definition has to say. Let me, however, simplify the whole data here, the whole definition for you. In simple words, DAX or data analysis queries are nothing but these are a process where you can create functions, right? Or basically you can create sub functions using which you can generate certain values. Say for example, you are talking about certain data set where you have maybe categories with you. Now you want to count the number of categories that are there. So you can create a separate function called as count and you can add that as a measure in your table values so that next time when you look for the count, you have that as a column name with you. Now, why do you need this to start with? Even when you have all this data filtering and all the processing with you, if you have something like DAX, you can always on the fly add custom functions, custom measures to your data. As we get into the demo part, we would understand how to go ahead and set this in process. But before that, let's quickly understand some of the pointers that are here. To start with, DAX is a functional query language. So you can basically create certain functions and basically bring out certain functions that you want to generate results. It deals with relational data. Yes, obviously, if you talk about something like Power BI, we are mostly concerned with relational data, not mostly, always concerned with relational data, and it helps you perform aggregations. This is something we'll see as we get into the demo part. Next, let us go ahead and understand what are the components of Power BI DAX. So when you talk about DAX in general, DAX has three components. One is the syntax, the other one is the function, and the third one is the context. Now, when you talk about a function is nothing but a formula, something like sum, something like count, right? So that is a function. Syntax, what is a syntax? Syntax is nothing but grammar to implement something, right? When you talk about syntax for English language, grammar for English language, it is nothing but how you form a sentence, right? In mathematics, syntax can be creating mathematical functions, mathematical formulae that would give you result. Just like in programming, we have syntax that is used to basically convey a particular action, right? Similarly, when you talk about Power BI, we are talking about mathematical calculations here, aggregations here. And for that, you'd be needing some grammar, some syntax. And this is what the component syntax of Power BI gives you. Next, you have context. Now, context is the ability to create functions, right? So if you are dealing with basically adding or working with row values, this context would be called as row context. Similarly, if you are adding a filter either to a column or even to a row or to the entire data, then it is called as a filter context. So basically you have two contexts here, that is your filter context and your row context. Similarly, you have functions and syntax in Power BI DAX. Let us now go ahead and move into the Power BI console and try and understand how DAX functions can be created or how do they work. We would be going ahead and creating quite a lot of visualizations, but that is for the later bit. For now, let's try and understand how Power BI DAX works and what all can you do with Power BI DAX. So to do that, let's assume that we have quite a few measures here, quite a few stuff that we can work around with. So here's a column name called as subcategory. Let's try and write a DAX query for it or a function for it that gives you the count of the subcategories that we have with us. So if we come here in the data source, you'd get to know that we would be having this category of sub data somewhere, right? This is what we have here. let's assume that I want to count all these categories. Now, fortunately for us, we can keep a track of it. If I scroll down, you would see that there are 9994 rows. So our count should be around that, right? If we create a count function for or a count measure for this particular subcategory. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test if the hypothesis is correct. If I create a count function that basically gives me a count of the total rows under a subcategory, can we do that? Yes. How do we do that? I come here, I right click and I say new measure. And what is the measure that I'm going to create? Let's call it subcategory count. Okay, so as you can see, Power BI is smart enough to give you suggestions where it would suggest certain things to you, basically operate with, so that your functioning becomes easier. Let's see how does that work. If I come here, okay, and now I want to count it, right? So all I have to do is I have to just type COU maybe, right? So it will suggest the possible functions. If I had to do sum, I would have typed sum, right? It would have given me that. So again, it is suggestive, this interface, where if you put in certain values, it would suggest a solution for it. Now let us go ahead and look for count and select count. There you go. And it would open the syntax for you. What it suggests is enter the column name for which you want to count, right? Let's say subcategory. You see, so the orders table has subcategory. I'm just going to go ahead and enter it here, and I'm going to hit the enter button. And once I do that, the category gets added here. You see, so if I come here and drop it here, you see it creates a bar graph for me. Okay, we'll understand all these graphs and stuff, but I want to check whether the count is correct or not. So there's a visualization Power BI called as card visualization. You see, it gives you this number, suggesting that there are these many subscribers, and that is the not subscribers, subcategory count. And that is the count that we saw here at the bottom, isn't it? 9994. So it is giving us right and exact values that meet our requirements, isn't it? I'm going to remove this for now, and I'm going to remove this from here as well. So the subcategory count thing, I want to delete it. I do not want it here. I'm going to just delete it. Yes. So this is how your DAX basically works like. Okay. I hope that is clear to you people.
To wrap things up, DAX really takes your Power BI reports to the next level by allowing you to create custom calculations and perform more in-depth analysis. With DAX, you can transform your data to uncover valuable insights that help make better decisions for your businesses. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with anyone who could use these tips, and subscribe for more insights.